Hello, and welcome to Tangle Time Arts. My name is Nana Heron, and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And we are on day 8 of Inktober Tangles. And if you haven't received your packet yet, you can visit the link in the description and download your handout so you can follow along. A big shout out to Stephanie Jennifer for putting this all together. It's a really fun way to learn new tangles. So let's get started. Day 8 is really different, and this is new to me. It's called ConneSSes, and the emphasis is on the S's here, the double S's, because the whole tangle is made up of S's. And this is by Diana Schreur, CZT. So I thought since it features S's and I am going to do the variation with 3 S's instead of the 5 S's, that I would work on the triangle, the 3Z tile. So if you have a 3Z tile in white, that would be awesome. If you don't have one of these, it measures about 3.5 inches on each side. It's an equilateral triangle. We also need a black pen, and I have also some pens in other colors so that we can embellish. So I've got red and green, but you could choose any 2 colors that you want, or you can do it all in black. That's fine too. I also have a pencil and a tortilla. All right, let's get started. So with ConneSSes, the focus, like I said, is definitely on the S's. So we're going to kind of mark our center, but a little bit down, and using the cap that I have here, I'm kind of marking that off. And that's about an 1.25 inches from there in case you're interested. And then we're just going to put in our first S. You want to end down there, so just making an S. I'm going to go back over it. With this tangle, I feel like the S should be about the same on the top and the bottom. Sometimes when you write, you would have the top smaller, but with this tangle, the S's, it works best if they are the same size, roughly the same size on the top and the bottom. So this S is kind of pointing towards the top. I'm going to rotate a little and put in another S, kind of pointing towards this corner. And you're just trying to keep these S's roughly the same size, which is not as easy as it sounds, but with a little practice, it goes pretty well. And then I want another S kind of facing this corner, this point. So I'm gonna put that in. And we end up with this tiny little triangle in the center there. And that's our first ConneSSes. And I think as we go along, I'm just going to do the fill-in part. So as we do each group of 3, I'm going to fill it in. So I'm just kind of expanding, adding a little love to these, the curved areas. Just making the curves more pronounced on the inside portion of the curves. All right, awesome. So then off of this, we can pick an S and work off of that. And I'm gonna start over here on this side. So we have um, one S there. So we can just put in another one and then rotate and add another one. So I'm just really working in groups of 3. And I'm going to add a little love to these S's. Like that. And again, we have a little triangle, a teeny tiny triangle right in the center there. And then I'm going to work a way around doing each of these. So let's go ahead and add an S here. And rotate. And add another S. And then add a little weight to those curves. Again, notice the little triangle in there. It's very tiny. Then I'm going to go all the way over to this one. And I'm going to put another S. And another S. So it's very curvy. That, and then we can go ahead and add a little more down here. So I'm going to go off of this one maybe. Put in this one here. Since we're just building off of the other ones, it's getting this very organic kind of look to it. Let's finish off this corner here. All right, so we have this very organic shape of the different groupings of the ConneSSes. I'm going to put the cap on my black pen just for a minute. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some dots. And I'm going to do that around each group of 3. So we have a group of 3 here, and I'm just adding some dots inside those curves. We have a group of 3 here. So I'm adding some green dots there. And then we have a group of 3 here. So anywhere there's a group of 3, I'm adding some dots. All right, and that finishes off the ConneSSes. So you have your S's and then you have the dots, and that is the tangle. And you can keep going. You can bring them around and close that off and have kind of a very organic shape. I'm going to do something a little different, and I'm just going to kind of aura around some of the areas. So like for this one, I'm just going to come off of the edge, and I'm just going to aura around that. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to come off the edge, and I'm going to aura around these shapes. I'm kind of looking for a very, it's almost like Pangea, if you're familiar with Pangea. This is kind of similar to that. So I'm just kind of floating this line along these shapes, but not touching them like that. And then I'm going to do that a second time all the way around. All right, once we've done that, I'm going to take the red pen. And the first thing I'm going to do actually is just add a little color to these triangles. You don't have to. I kind of actually like them white, but I'm just going to add a little color there. And then I am going to ink in this area here. Be sure to rotate your tile when you're filling this in so that you're comfortable. And then it's easier for you. And we're on our last one. So yours don't have to be red and green and black like mine. You could have chosen a different color, or you could have just used black for everything. All right, cool. So we have something that looks like this. And then we're going to take our um, black pen here. And I thought it'd be nice to add some texture to these areas. So I'm just going to run a straight line through. So I'm going to start in the middle here at the top. And when I meet this area, I'm going to lift my pen, go all the way to the other side, and keep going. I just didn't want all that white space. And I didn't want to fill it with another tangle. So this just seemed like the easiest way. So now we've got another area here to add to. And sometimes if you feel like it's too wide between two lines, you can just go ahead and add a line in there. And now we're on this section over here. And don't worry about your lines being straight. I know mine are not. It's just the visual, like I said, I wanted to add a little texture to these areas because I just didn't want so much white space. And maybe you want white space, in which case you don't have to do this part. I'm putting these lines in very lightly. I'm not pressing very much at all. And I should have probably added some in here. So I'll go back and do that. Finished with that area. Finish here. Fill in this. And I think we can pick up down here. Depending on where your shapes end up, you might have different areas to fill in. Let's keep going here. It does get a little tricky to kind of hold on to the 3Z tiles sometimes. They're smaller to work with. All right. So now we have some texture in there. And I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm not really doing a lot of shading here. I'm going along the edge, skipping that white part there. And we can also add a little shading along these areas. I'm not really going to do anything with the actual ConneSSes. All right, and then we can take our tortillon and very quickly blend these areas out. So now we have some nice texture. Like that. So we have our ConneSSes in the center here, the focal point, and then we did the aura around it, and then we filled in just with some lines just to give it some texture. And that's actually all I'm going to do for that one. It has this lovely organic shape with the bold contrast of the black and the red, with a little bit of green thrown in there. That's it. Super simple. It's all about the S's. All right, let's fill out the back here. Put my name on the top. And it's October 8. And this is Inktober. There's not a lot of room to write on these tiles, so I'm just going to try to fit it in there as best as I can. By Diana Schreur. Okay, Schreur, and she's a CZT. All right, and then we need to put our chop on there, our initials. And I am actually just going to fit it in the corner here over this textured area, actually. I don't usually do that, but I think I will just put it in the corner like that. All right, that's cool. It's very contrasty and bold and simple at the same time, but it's got a lot going on there. It's very organic. So give it a try. Let me know what you come up with. This has been interesting. It's been really fun. I'll see you tomorrow for day 9, which will be winter leaf, which is another floral tangle. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Love you guys. Bye bye.